Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload, or I should say, yeah, today's upload, even though this is getting recorded on Wednesday at around 10 o'clock, almost 11 in the evening, it will be uploaded on Thursday, I'm hoping 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. So this is about that snowstorm that will be occurring across the Midwest and the Upper Plains. Sorry, I need to turn away there. About the Midwest and Upper Plains. It's gonna bring heavy snow. There's blizzard warnings up for windy conditions coupled with snow. There's winter storm warnings for just heavy snow. There's ice storm warnings for heavy icing that will occur with the freezing rain. And there's flood warnings, flash flood warnings. This system is very powerful, potent. It will even bring a little bit of severe weather with it. It's a very interesting system. It's very, very, very strong. And it's looking fairly spring like, and I'm just excited about this. So let's dive right into this. So we're looking right now at the FV3. Also, one more thing before we do, actually, thank you guys so much for the nice comments on last night's video, or I think that was 2 nights ago. What makes my day is not how much views this get, not anything else, not how much subscribers. It's literally the comments that I get. The really nice comments, I love them so much. And if I didn't reply to them, to your comment, I tried replying to most of them. Don't worry, I read your comment. I've read every single one, and you guys are freaking awesome. Thank you so much for the support. And no, that's just what I wanted to say. So let's quickly look at the GFS. This storm is literally forming as we speak. It's well, it already is formed the actual low, but the precip and the snow is starting to actually now organize itself and become into a substantial rates and amounts, because up till now we've just been seeing scattered showers across much of the Midwest. And this storm will take a track right through Oklahoma, Missouri, and into central and eastern Illinois. And afterwards, you could see quite a bit of icing with it. Missouri, that's what the ice storm warnings are: Missouri, central Missouri, and into southern Iowa. I'll show you the warnings in just a minute. But a little bit of severe weather is also possible with this, but it's very slight. So that's literally what they categorized it as, a slight. So slight risk. I wouldn't say it's out of the question that maybe a severe thunderstorm warning pops up, but tornadoes seem very low. But definitely some damaging wind possibly, and maybe some hail. But that's just right about it. We need to wait a little bit more into the season, but I mean, give it 1 or 2 months, and we'll be looking at severe weather. We'll be looking at events where we could be having snow up to the north, and like in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and then we'll have potentially tornado outbreak in the south. That always happens around the March-April timeframe. I remember last year we had one big snowstorm, and it was right around the April timeframe. Green Bay, Wisconsin got around 20 inches. It was like a record for them into Minnesota. And then anywhere south of that was warm, and further south, like the deep south, it was severe thunderstorms with tornadoes. So those storms are actually very interesting. I like them the most because they're just such a wide variety. So let's just stop blabbling, or I should just stop talking, and let's continue through this. So you can see it rides right through eastern Illinois into northern Michigan. A big snow system up to the north. The amounts will be fairly decent. They're not gonna be record breaking, but they're definitely gonna be substantial enough. They're gonna cause problems for sure. So as we go in through time, we could see that maybe a bit of snow on the backside. You could see the cold air is rushing in so quickly behind us. This high pressure is pumping it so quickly in here that the cold air might actually catch up to the front and produce a little bit of snow. But I'm telling you guys, I've been doing this for a couple of years, and when the models try to do this, usually the cold air is a little bit farther behind, or the rain and snow is just not or the rain is just not as pronounced, and the snow that does transition is just a few flakes. So as of now, this is looking like heavy snow from the model perspective. I don't think that's going to occur, but you could see that as it moves up into the northeast, it's a mainly rain event. Not much snow at all for the northeast, which is unfortunate for the snow lovers. Let's look at the snowfall totals, but I also want to point out one thing. While this system is going to be here in northern Michigan, anyone living in Illinois, southern Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota will be dealing with very strong winds, gusts up to 40, 50 miles per hour, and that's what will usher in that cold Arctic air. Won't be as bitter as that, Arctic, that Arctic outbreak we had a week ago, wow, exactly a week ago. It won't be as cold as that, but still fairly chilly. Definitely some below zero wind chills are going to be occurring. And then we go on into the further time frame. Actually, let's first look at the snowfall totals because I don't want to get carried away by this. So most of the snowfall amounts will be in northern Wisconsin, eastern Minnesota, northern Iowa, and then potentially another system developing off on Sunday. That could be looking interesting for the Northeast. We could be looking at something interesting happening there. So we'll just have to see. I'll show you that in just a minute. But something interesting may be forming for the Northeast next week. That's all I'm going to say. And we see that this is Saturday now of this upcoming weekend, February 9th. Another storm is coming in, and it's going to be impacting the west with very heavy snow. There's cold temperatures in place for much of the western coast, and that means cities like Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon will be seeing snow, which doesn't happen too often. But look, almost the whole state of Washington, Oregon, seeing snow. This goes down in here, and you can see how these two systems. It's really one system, but it forms into two systems. Sorry about that. One piece of the system stays behind and lingers around in the Rockies, while the second system quickly ejects out into the plains and produces a quick swath of snow across the central portions of the country. This could still shift for sure, but doesn't look like a heavy event at this point. But the Northeast may get in on this a little bit, maybe 2 to 3 inches, not looking like a major event from this point on. But this is the new GFS model run, and I think it has backed off on the Northeast seeing heavy snow, but the other models haven't. So we're looking at the second piece now, moving out into the stronger piece out into the plains. Again, very heavy snow looking at this point. The cold air in place is starting to already transition the rain to snow across these northern sections, but the system being very strong and potent, it brings the warm air very far north. And again, we see rain all the way up into southern Canada. And while you can see the Northeast starts off with snow, transitions to rain, and it seems more again like a Minnesota, Northwest Iowa event. So if you live in Northwest Iowa, there's always a friend of mine on YouTube that asks me, is there going to be strong winds in Northwest Iowa? And Jaquan, I think that's his name. And yes, with this storm, if this were to form, this 985 millibar pressure low, you'd see very strong winds with very heavy snow, and this could potentially be a very strong blizzard. So this could be your storm, but this could still definitely change. So this is what it's showing right now, the GFS. Let's go to one model run prior. It had it a little bit further to the south, but still at a similar track. It wasn't completely. Yeah, you can see it still was rain for the Northeast. What model was really showing more snow for the Northeast was the FV3 GFS, the 18Z model run, and basically every model run before that. So let's quickly look at this. And we see that first system ejecting out into the plains and into the Northeast, maybe a couple of inches with that. And look at this. The FV3 GFS run has it way further to the south. So panhandle of Texas may see some snow, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. And then we see some snow into Virginia, an icing event, potentially a massive icing event. And look at that. Potentially a very big system for the Northeast. So if this were to form, cities like Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, and Maine potentially seeing very, very heavy snow. Let's look at some of these snowfall accumulations. I don't want to get you excited or hyped up, but some of these snowfall amounts, look at that. That's just it took me off guard there for a second. 25, 28 inches. Would these amounts be 100% accurate at this point? Obviously not, because I know people will be asking that. Well, is this track even reasonable? I would say it's more reasonable than the operational GFS model run, but I wouldn't say it's completely 100% gonna happen, and I would nearly not obviously not say that, but I wouldn't give it I'll give it around a 30 shot right now, 30% chance this could form. Yesterday it was like a 10, today it's like a 30. And sorry if the door just closed there. But you can see heavy snow for Kansas, Missouri, if this were to form into southern Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and then look at that, New York City, Boston may see a very big system. And this is what I mean, guys. We just need one of these type of systems to form with this very heavy snow, and New York City will be caught up with their snowfall total. I mean, we still have quite a bit of winter left, and actually, a couple days ago was the second. It was exactly marking the halfway point between the astronomical winter where it starts on December 1st and ends March 21st. A couple days ago, I think February 2nd or 3rd or 4th, it was the exact halfway mark. So that's interesting because many people are viewing this already as a failed winter. We still have quite a bit of winter left, and these amounts here are mixed up with that sleet and freezing rain that we saw earlier. So that wouldn't not most likely not happen, but these amounts right here, 14, 15 inches, definitely doable. How long? All right, 10 minutes and 52 seconds. I did not know it would be that long. Expected this to be shorter, but let's just quickly go to the ice storm warning area. That's probably the biggest area where of concern. We have we have Kansas City in it, but the northern sections like St. Joseph, Athens, Atchison, not in it. The amounts aren't historic, like you can see right here, just critical, and that's still definitely though enough. I mean, 0.25 to almost half an inch of ice accumulations. That is lethal for the power outages, and most likely no school for you guys in Kansas City. Let's quickly go to the blizzard warnings that are in Minnesota, kind of like wraps around Minnesota. You can see it's almost like exactly how this storm will develop into that comma shape, which is usually where the strongest winds occur. And you can see it's mainly not really for the heavy snow, but what happens afterwards. You could see the midday tomorrow and into Thursday night, there's blizzard warnings because, again, guys, blizzard does not mean snow needs to be falling from the ground. It could be just blowing snow if the winds are strong enough. It's going to blow around, and that could lead to blizzard warning. And like I mentioned, the winds with this storm will be massive, up to 40 miles per hour, sustained in some areas. So there's look at all these flash flood warnings, flood warnings, flood advisories. This is very very serious on every aspect. I mean, look at this heavy rain. Some areas may see as much as 1 to 3 inches, but of rain in these areas. So, very strong system. So that's basically it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something new, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.